Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is your local problematic Leo, and today on Dress to Kill, I'm on my gay shit. Okay, I know that is a little bit of a cryptic title, however, I do want you to follow me on this one. Now, currently, two things are true. First and foremost, we are nearing the end of Pride Month, but if I look back at it, I don't think that in the history of the channel I've ever done like gay pride focused content, mainly because number one, I'm bad at scheduling and also I'm a bad gay. Now on the other hand, I also haven't been covering Warframe regularly for quite some time, and now I'm kind of sort of back, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I haven't been playing this entire time, or at least kind of popping in and out, which means if I've been playing, I've been customizing. So there are definitely some Warframes that I'm very proud in my customizations of that you guys have not seen. Now, there is going to be a little bit of a talk through on all of these, just like some Dress to Kills. They are mainly going to be one-off looks for the Warframes that we're taking a look at today, which of course is going to be Gara Prime, Ember Prime, Hydroid Prime, Nezha Prime, and Wisp Prime. I was going to try to say Nezha, but listen, I stumbled over it, so we're just going to go ahead and leave that. But you know what? I feel bad because he is probably the most prideful of all of the frames. So you know what? Without ado, let's get dressed. Alrighty, so before we jump on in, I'm going to go ahead and hit you guys with a disclaimer that I always drop at the very beginning of these videos. All of the color codes for these looks are going to be down in the description box below. R stands for row, C stands for column, the palette name will be there, and I'm going to trust you guys to figure out the rest. Now, I'm also adding in an extra bit. Please feed the algorithm. I'm pretty sure this video is not gonna do numbers. However, if you do want to see more videos like this, please go ahead and give us some sort of rating and leave a comment down in the comments below. I really would appreciate that. Now, I picked Gara to begin with for a very specific reason. First and foremost, I wanted you guys to understand the fact that I did customizations when I was gone, but I only did like one because I wasn't doing Dress to Kill videos. And that's kind of how I like stumbled on all of these looks, was like, oh, I don't have like another look because I literally just did one look and that's it, because I wasn't doing a Dress to Kill video. But the other thing that I also wanted to go ahead and point out is when I talk about customizations, I think one of the things that I always point out is that I'm not necessarily gonna toss armors and like different Cyandanas or anything on a Warframe unless I want it to change their shape. Now, for me, Miss Gara Prime is just so like gorgeous in the way that she's set up. I don't really want to add anything on. And you know what? That's completely okay. If you do want to add things on, feel free to, but I really like the shape, I really like the silhouette, so I didn't really want to mess with it too much, and I went ahead and hit her with this really soft, what's called monochromatic look. I mean, like, it's glass, it's glistening, so the different textures really pop in itself, and I really like the, I guess you would say, like, the armor layering that they do. I feel like the line work does a lot. So when we look at something like the original customization, I'm sorry, DE, you lose a lot of it because of the fact that you're doing so much with so many things. So I figured pairing it all back and letting the skin work for itself is just kind of absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at the heels. Look at the heels. Look at that. Oh my god, like the blades on there. I will say one thing though. I got some new attachments. I did a little bit of Tenno Gen shopping, and there are some pieces that I actually really like, but I can't pronounce it because there are way too many consonants in a row, and I was just like not gonna try. It starts with a K and there's like an R. Am I wrong? I thought there was. There you go. So these pieces, again, you can see that it structurally changes her. I don't necessarily want that, but it has like these glass shards on the end of it that, I mean, listen, if you want to stay in the theme, I think that that's a beautiful addition to Miss Gara Prime. However, I don't think that I really need to do too much to her to make her beautiful. All right, now let's talk about changing the shapes of things, because I think that it's very important to kind of give you guys the visual, like the visual of the paired back, and then the visual of we're gonna add some shit on to make you a different body shape. And that is perfectly Miss Ember Prime. Now, she did just recently have a little bit of a buff, And as you can see, I went ahead and touched her up just a little bit. I absolutely love the Majesty skin. Because I mean, like, look at all of those beautiful textures, but we layered in the prime details. As you can see right here, it actually does some really beautiful things, so like the leg cages, and then you add in the Alistair leg plates in there. They're not really leg plates, so they're those dangly little things in there. So it's like the cage and then these things dangling from it, and then you get this chest piece, which is beautiful, but I didn't want the shoulder pads. So I went ahead and stole the shoulder pads from the Pyraxis Deluxe skin, and so it gives her a whole nother shape. Now, as you can see right here, the ephemera that we're currently using is the Gloriana one. And this is where I wanted to really talk about ephemeras changing the shape of a Warframe. So instead of the Gloriana ephemera doesn't change her shape that much. But if we go ahead and hit her with the Sapphire one, it really bulks up her limbs. And so, I mean, I like the way that the Sapphire one looks. It makes her look a little bit more vicious. However, I do find that it takes away from, like, her majesticness. So it's really up to you how you want to approach it. Just keep in mind that things like these, like the wrapped wing ones, even that one will go ahead and change the shape of the Warframe. Like you can even see in the shoulder pieces and in the leg pieces that things are getting altered. So for me, it's really a choice between, you know, being soft and majestic and kind of royal, and or having that extra bulk that's a little intimidating. So for me, this is the way that I want to keep her for now. But let's go ahead and move on to someone who's also gotten a recent touch-up, but the touch-up wasn't as recent. But we can also talk about silhouette while we're there, and that of course is Mr. Hydroid Prime. Ooh, oh, this baby boy. I do have to take off his ephemera though, because it changes things. Now, talking about ephemeras changing things, I actually really love the effect that the Tenno Prime ephemera has, because it kind of makes things look really shaded, and I almost thought that this would be the way he looked if he was underwater. So let's go ahead, see how he just pops in color when you go ahead and do that. Now, this is the one thing that I absolutely love with this skin. Well, there's multiple things that I like about it. We are using the Hydroid Grex skin. So it's got different under textures, but as you can see, depending on the prime that you're working with, right? Sometimes the prime details can be absolutely major. So as you can see right here, he kind of looks a little bubbly. But when you toggle on the prime details, it actually exposes the textures on the leg pieces, which I think fits into the very piratey theme of this. And the great thing about it is you can swap from the Hydroid Prime helmet into the Hydroid Grex helmet because the textures are very, very similar, and I don't think that it clashes too much. The metallic is a little bit off, but you know, I'm sure you can look past it, especially when you put on the ephemeras, because that kind of distracts from it. Now, as you can see, there is also one feature that I went ahead and added in. Of course, I love pulling from some of these deluxe skins, but we do have the, oh, I'm not going to be able to say that, right? The Burangara long coat added in there. I feel like it changes his animation somewhat. It doesn't change his stance, but it changes his, it changes like some of the animations he does, because he has, I feel like I was like, I don't remember X, Y, and Z stroking their coat because they didn't have a coat. And of course we have the Envy insignia. Let me go ahead and toss back on that Tenno Prime just to make him look shaded again. So yeah, this is Mr. Hydroid Prime. Now, of course, I may or may not have mispronounced his name a little bit earlier, but I actually, and this was one of the things, this is one of the things that also spurred on this video, Mr. Nezha. I believe that Mr. Nezha is a Prime Warframe that I also only tweaked once. I love this look. Let me see, did I try? I think, because I was gonna try to do like a Nezha Prime video for Gay Pride Month, because I'm like, yo, it's our fire boy. It's, you know, it's Mr. Twunk. And I think I tried, and I don't know if it really necessarily panned out the way I wanted to, but this is definitely the look that I wanted to go ahead and show off. This is the one that I've been primarily using, and again, like I said, I wanted to go ahead and give him some bulk. Now, I went ahead and did that through the Sapphire ephemera, and as you can see, it really does kind of like give some oomph to his limbs, right? Because here it's like, oh, like he's just like fancy sweet boy, right? But when you toss in that Sapphire Ephemera, it's just like extra, it's just like thickness. But in order to kind of like push that even further, we went ahead and tossed in the Kukuri Prime armor set. And I mean, it goes really, really well with the Sapphire. It's kind of like a match made in heaven, because there's all of these spiky bits, and then there's also all of this, you know, other spiky bits that come on up. And you know, I like to kind of run him as like a little flame demon. Like, he is our little flamer incarnate, and I think it's actually really, really perfect for him. It makes him look a lot more savage. Ooh, and we also got to talk about, hold on. One of the other things that I've been really kind of like chatting with people about is the way that Signa's changed the head shape. So as you can see right here, this kind of gives it a little bit more density as well, and almost makes him look like he has some some horny features. But you know, I mean, we'll stick with that. We'll stick with that. It gives him a little bit of like an upturned flare to kind of go with the rest of the upturned goldenness that's going on him. And because he's fiery, it kind of makes, it's just extra. He's just extra demony, and I absolutely love it. Now, the last one is kind of a throwback to the first one. We were talking about textures and kind of like keeping it simple, because this is very busy, as you can see. This is a very busy customization. There's a lot of gold. There's a lot of things going on. And sometimes you just got to pare it back. And if a skin, like a Prime skin, is done really, really well, or you don't really have to like do too much to it to make it gorgeous. In fact, doing too much can take away from it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit you with Wisp Prime. Oh my God. Okay, so this, yo, when the new Orinist armor set came out, I was like, okay, this is a cool one. Let me see who I can toss it on. And I think that Wisp absolutely looks gorgeous with it. As you can see, I have pared back on a lot of her coloring, but you can see she's got so much texture going on that it's like, why would you want to hide that? And I went ahead and tossed on the Wisp Delusion helmet. Now, honestly, I don't love Warframe helmets that look like a head with hair. It's a weird thing, but because of the fact that she kind of looks like a marble carved statue, it almost looks like she's kind of like a marble statue come to life. I think it's really, really pretty, but I mean, her regular helmet looks really nice as well, but I just feel like this one fits so much better. And in all honesty, it's kind of like, it gives a different vibe to the original one, because the original one looks like really dark and shady. This one's just like, I'm a sculpture's face, right? So pretty. And then when it came down to her coloration, I wanted to go for this kind of like dream-like Aurora Borealis kind of effect, still keeping it very, very soft, but kind of like, you know, maybe this is a statue that came alive in your dreams, you know? This was, I really, really like this one. So let me know what you guys think. Which one was your favorite customization? Leave that down in the comments below. Let me know if you want to see more of these videos. I have had some requests for specific Warframe ones that I may go ahead and touch on. I've got some other videos that I'm also kind of working in the periphery, but I really did want to show off some of the things that I'm kind of prideful for. Oh, that was a tongue twister. But then again, you know, tongues tend to get twisted during Pride. Oh, it doesn't stop. Alrighty, so that about does it for me for now. Let me know how you guys like this format, or if it was a little disjointed, because that's kind of the way that I'm leaning at this very moment. Regardless, go ahead and feed the algorithm, and as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.